Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On the program today, the United Nations pledges to help people with the humanitarian crisis in the Northeast. Traffic gridlock hits Lokoja-Abuja Road as truck drivers protest double taxation. And later in the North Central, the Kwara State government to punish officials indicted in illegal recruitment of teachers. Thank you so much for joining us on today's edition. The Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has called for greater investment in human resources, the country's greatest assets. He made the comments during a ceremony to celebrate graduates from Kwara State who bagged first-class degrees from various universities. The former Kwara State governor commended the beneficiaries for their determination, commitment, patience, and academic exploits. He said the youth were the future of the country and urges Nigerian students to aim for excellence and be good ambassadors of their alma maters after graduation.
Congratulations. First class best graduate student in physics.
We talk a lot about resources. We talk about oil, we talk about minerals, solid minerals, etc. But we spend less time and we don't talk about the most important resources, human resources. And what you have in front of us is worth more than many barrels of oil. It's worth more than many tantalite or gold, what you have. And I hope those who are watching, younger ones, will take cue from you so that you will continue to excel, that the Kwarans will lead in this area of excellence in our universities.
Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki. The Minister of Labor and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige, has appealed to the management of the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund, an agency under the supervision of the ministry, to provide social security coverage for workers in the public and organized private sector. According to the minister, the Nigeria Social Insurance Trust Fund has failed to take companies to court and also claim compensation for workers whose social security are threatened by their employers. He urges the agency's legal department to brace up to the task and take more companies that fail to provide social security for their workers to court by next year.
Is the fund sleeping on her rights? Has the fund been vigorous in attending to claims and compensation? Let the fund open up her dragnet and capture as many people as possible, because this is part of social security. You should do more operation notices and more court actions. I want you by January to take as many companies as possible to court. The legal department has to stand up to be counted. Because those people are cheating their workers. They're cheating their workers indirectly. Workers spend their money to treat themselves in the course of accident or in the course of any disease condition arising from war. It's unfair. It's unfair. And this happens because people are sleeping. So I want people to protect the Nigerian workers so that whatever little money they earn will be in their pockets. Employers have responsibility to them.
Senator Chris Ngige, Minister of Labor. Meanwhile, part of ways to get Nigeria's economy out of recession is to put more money in the hands of Nigerians. That's according to the President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, Mr. Ayuba Waba. The NLC and its trade union affiliate have proposed a new minimum wage of 56,000 naira to the federal government, insisting that recession must not be based or used as an excuse to leave workers' welfare unattended to. Mr. Waba, who was speaking to journalists in Abuja added that the labor movement will intensify its engagement with the federal government on the proposed minimum wage.
First, you must realize the context of how the minimum wage works. The labor as an entity will have to make a presentation, which we have done, in consultation with TUC, because of the fact that you need to empower people to have the means to continue to purchase so that the process of manufacturing can also continue. We have argued that point long before now, and therefore let us not be under any illusion that any government at any point in time will say we have enough. It's about demand and contestation. And it also demands about our priorities. Where do we situate our priorities? Our prayer is that after this quarter, we should be able to get out of recession. We must be able to make progress. And therefore, we should not, in our right thinking as citizens, continue to hide under the issue of recession and put a lot of things in abeyance. No, that is not our position. Okay, we must, through a very constructive approach, try to make sure that the economy gets started. And part of it is to put money in the hands of citizens so that they will be able to have a meaningful life and economic activities can pick up.
To the aviation sector, members of various aviation unions protested at the Arik Air office in Lagos, leading to a shutdown of the airline's operations. They are drawn from the National Union of Air Transport Employees, Air Transport Senior Staff Services Association of Nigeria, and the National Association of Aircraft Pilots and Engineers. The unions had yesterday threatened to picket the airline nationwide with effect from today, vowing to continue the action until all their concerns are addressed. They are demanding, amongst other things, the payment of their 7-month salary arrears, unionization of Arik Air employees, and recall of all their colleagues who were sacked because of their roles in the unions.
This exercise is long overdue because we have a company that is licensed for a specific responsibility, but it has failed woefully in carrying out such responsibilities. The first fundamental issue about employment is that staff welfare is paramount. Unfortunately, Arik, as big as Arik is, has defaulted severally in terms of staff welfare. It is already on record, known all over the world, that Arik is owing staff 7 months' salaries. Taxes are deducted, not remitted, which is also a criminal offense. Pension contributions are not paid at all. The ones that are deducted from staff salaries are not remitted, not to talk of the other contributory side of it, the funding from the employer. And other statutory responsibilities has been breached by management. Severally, we have made attempt to also engage in full-blown industrial democracy in Arik, so much so that we had a 2-year moratorium within which Arik pleaded that we should allow them to stabilize before trade unionism is established. At the expiration of these 2 years, we notified them that we should, start social engagement. Several times they invited us for meetings. Several times we have attempted to have meetings with management. Those attempts.
In the meantime, Arik Air has been reacting to the strike by its workers, describing the action as an ambush on its operations. Arik Air, in a statement, explains that a meeting between the aviation union leadership and its management had been scheduled for tomorrow, Wednesday, December the 21st, 2016, on the request of the union to address their grievances. It adds that the unions, however, did not wait for the scheduled meeting or its outcome before embarking on today's action, which it says is disruptive and strong-arm tactics against the airline. The airline appeals to all security agencies, the Minister of Aviation, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, the Nigeria Airspace Management Agency, to prevail on these aviation unions to allow for operations to commence immediately. You're watching news across Nigeria. A traffic gridlock hits the Lokoja-Abuja road as truck drivers protest multiple taxation. Please stay with us.